So it's that point in the season where anything can happen and potentially you could climb up massively in the rankings. Game Week 38 is an unpredictable monster and we'll cover it coming up next. What's up guys, and welcome to another episode of FPL Today in association with FPL Updates here on my channel JNO United. Of course I am JNO, and welcome back to the last ever episode for Fantasy Premier League 2016-2017 season on this channel. It's been emotional guys, it's been emotional. So we're going to cover Game Week 38, an unpredictable beast where you could possibly catch up in your mini leagues. So strap yourselves in, this could be a wild ride. But before we get into the episode today, I just want to point you in the direction of my Patreon. We are refurbing, rehashing, restarting it all. We have a competition there going on at the moment where if you are a Patreon, doesn't matter how much, from $1 up to 20, you will be entered into a competition where you and 3 others, 4 winners in total, could possibly get direct contact to me to help you build your side going into the Fantasy Premier League 2017-2018 season. And who knows, if it goes well, we may even introduce some more winners, but at the moment we're going to cap it off at 4. Also, before we get into the episode today, I want to know your Game Week 38 punts. Let me know who you're taking a risk on to try and climb up those rankings in your mini leagues or in the overall game. So we're going to start off this episode with the hot list. It's another preview episode because I'm recording this on Tuesday and the last game of the game week is Thursday, and then we have games on Sunday. It gets very busy this point in the season. So we are starting off with the hot list with the goalkeepers as usual, and we've got Willy Caballero in third with Fraser Forster in second and Peter Cech coming in first. Peter Cech at 5.4 million is looking good in an Arsenal team that looks defensively solid and needs to win to keep their hopes of Champions League football alive. Willy Caballero also in the Manchester City side, quite a cheap keeper as well for a Manchester City keeper, and Manchester City need to keep winning to make sure they don't drop out of the top 4. So definitely some good goalkeeping options. Peter Cech however comes in first at 5.4 million because he's had 5 appearances and 3 clean sheets, only conceding 3 goals and making 22 saves in total, and the next game is against an Everton side that have very little to play for at all. Moving on to the defenders, and we are looking at Vincent Kompany coming in third, Charlie Daniels coming in second, and Marcus Alonso taking the number 1 spot. I'm taking a few punts here because it's the last game week. It's not like you're going to have these players stuck in your team for the rest of the season. One game week, you should take risks, maybe climb the rankings massively. Vincent Kompany's just come back from injury, so he may be able to get on the score sheet and keep a clean sheet. Charlie Daniels, Bournemouth defenders are known for scoring goals, and Marcus Alonso has just proven that every now and again he can come up with a goal and a clean sheet and get you a lot of points. In the last 4 appearances, he's got 3 clean sheets and managed to score 1 goal out of 6 attempts with 4 chances also created. Goal involvement for a defender of 18.2 is nothing to laugh at, and the next game is against a Sunderland side who have been woeful. Moving on to the midfield, and we have 3 big hitters in this one, and I went back and forth on second and first place, and I think in captaincy candidates I even switched them compared to this episode. But we have Kevin De Bruyne coming in at third. Kevin De Bruyne can blank or can have a massive game week, so he's a bit of a risk. Philip Coutinho as well can have great game weeks, can blank, and so can Alexis Sanchez, so it was really hard to pick, but I think all 3 of these players are players in sides that need to win in Game Week 38, and all are top quality players that can have absolutely amazing games. But Sanchez has pipped it for me because of current form, although I don't know what he's going to do tonight. In the last 5 games, however, he's got 2 goals, 1 assist from 12 attempts, 4 of which have been on target, and has created 4 chances, and again is against that Everton side that have very little to play for. And finally we move on to the forwards, and we have Olivier Giroud coming in at third. He is my punt for the game week, by the way. Olivier Giroud got a hat-trick in Game Week 38. Jamie Vardy coming in second. I think that Leicester side still want to prove something to the world. now that they've managed to climb back up the table. Want to remind everyone they were champions last season. And Harry Kane coming in first because I think he wants that golden boot, and he's 3 goals behind Lukaku, so he's going to have to put in a big performance to catch up with Lukaku. So coming in at 11.7 million in the last 4 games he's played, he's got 2 goals, 1 assist from 19 attempts, 10 of which have been on target, and a goal involvement of 60%. And it's playing against Hull, who have gone down relegated, have very little to play for as well. So that wraps up the hot list. Is there anyone I missed that you are keeping an eye on? Let me know in the comments down below, just so I can put them in my team and hopefully climb up the rankings a little bit more. Okay, so now we get to the part of the show where we look at the fixtures, and the first fixture we're going to look at is the Arsenal-Everton game. Olivier Giroud last season scored 3 goals in this game week, and he's coming into form recently, having started some games and getting some points, so potentially he could do it again. And if there was a game week 38 they needed Olivier Giroud to perform, it would be this one, because if Man City or Liverpool fail to win, Arsenal can get 4th or 3rd, depending on the results elsewhere, so they need to make sure they've at least done their job in case someone else slips up. Alexis Sanchez is back in everyone's minds after some decent double game week scores, and Everton have nothing to play for, so Ozil also looks like a good pick here, as well as Arsenal's defence looking pretty solid recently, the likes of Monreal and Bellerin looking very tasty. We then have Chelsea versus Sunderland, with a heavily rotated squad played against Watford by Chelsea. I feel like those who didn't start that game should start this one, so players like Pedro and Fabregas could become big players in this game week 38. I wouldn't ship a Chelsea player out if they didn't play, maybe ship out Hazard, depends if Conte wants to play him or not. However, if he does want to play him, he would be a good differential, because the general consensus is the big players are shipping out Hazard to bring in someone like De Bruyne or Coutinho. So if you keep him and he plays and scores, that would be a pretty good score for you, but he did just blank in a double game week. It all depends if it's worth the risk. Are you taking one last shot at glory, or are you trying to hold on to your spot? We then have Hull City versus Tottenham Hotspurs, and whilst neither team have anything to really gain from this game, like I said earlier, Harry Kane is chasing the golden boot, and I feel like Spurs are going to want to prove that last season's dip in form at the end of the season, it was just a one-off. I think they're a lot fitter now than they were the season before as well, and because of that, I don't see that much rotation from Spurs in this one. It's not like they've got a game afterwards to worry about. So I feel like Spurs will want to see off the season right and go into next season in good form. We then have Liverpool versus Middlesbrough. A win gets Liverpool Champions League football, so they're going to play their strongest side. That means Coutinho is going to play. Coutinho was on fire recently in the double game week in the first game. Don't know how it will do in the second game just yet. But if you're chasing mini league leaders, Coutinho is probably in their minds as well, so you may want to look at a different Liverpool option. Daniel Sturridge could play again. He did play in the first game of the double game week, so he is a good striker if he can stay fit and if he fits into the system, so he could be a great differential for you. Liverpool also have numerous other options attacking wise, and also if you look at their defence, they've been a lot more solid recently. Matip got very close to scoring last game I watched with Liverpool, so maybe he's worth a punt as well. We then have Watford versus Manchester City to round off the fixtures of any importance. Manchester City have a Champions League place to lose if they don't put in a performance. The problem is which players are safe. Gabriel Jesus and Aguero could play together, or Pep could pick one or the other. De Bruyne, Sane and Silva, I'd imagine they're safe in this side though, but who knows with Pep Guardiola. But the right pick here could see you finish the season off strong. And to end off the episode, we get to the captain choice, the differential and the red herring. Starting off with the captain poll. At the moment of recording this, Philippe Coutinho looks like the most popular option for captain's armband. Alexis Sanchez coming in second. That could flip depending on the second game in the double game week. And then Harry Kane coming in third. Again, that could flip as well. The captain choice and differential for me are the same player. I'm going with Olivier Giroud, £8 million. Last 4 game weeks, he's had a decent performance. 3.6% ownership. Out of 3 starts, 5 appearances in total. He's got 3 goals and a goal involvement while he's on the pitch of 50%. 6 attempts, 4 of which have been on target. And in the 2015-2016 season, I believe I told you he got a hat-trick. And then finally, the last part of FPL Today for this season, the red herring, and it's just the fact that it's game week 38. Lots of goals are likely to be scored. The games are going to be unpredictable, but that means you could get points other people aren't going to get. Olivier Giroud last year was a great choice if you brought him in. Jorginho Wijnaldum got 2 goals for Newcastle in Gameweek 38 last year when Newcastle had nothing to play for as well. So who knows where the points are coming from this game week. Maybe it's worth taking a punt if you really need to climb that ranking. So guys, just to end off the episode before we get into the outro, I just want to say thank you so much for the support that you guys have given me this season. The fact that I now have a show on my channel that gets over 1,000 views nearly every week is amazing. I'm really hoping to push forward with this channel next year, despite the fact I probably will have less time. FPL Today in this format is probably not going to continue, but we will try and bring in 3 shows for next year and have them overall probably be more content for you guys but be less work for me. So we'll see how it goes. I hope you will stay with me for next year. I hope we have a great Fantasy Premier League season in 2017-2018. And for the last time on FPL Today, make sure to hit that like button, especially if you've enjoyed any episode this year. Also subscribe if you're new to the channel so we can get ready for next year. I've been J&O, you guys have been awesome, and remember, even if it's summertime, it's still all about the game.